as leaders are constantly looking for ways to effectively lead others and help them become the best versions of themselves. So do you have any advice on what you believe the most important qualities of a good leader is that can help us all as a group?
Oh, by far the most important quality in a leader, I think, is the quality of listening. That is, if you want to bring people along, you have to know what they're interested in. You have to know what will actually attract them, and you do that by listening. And then once you have an idea of what they're interested in and how that relates to what you want to do. You still do what you want to do in the end, but you have to figure out how it relates to what they are interested in, and then you figure out where's the nexus between those two things, that you can show them what you are interested in and what they are interested in, have a crossing point, and so you can then bring them along that way. So to me, that, like as I say, the programming we do at Symphony that seems to be so all over the road, and it's really just about trying to reflect back on the community that we see.
As a follow-up question to that is how can we as leaders become better listeners, to our communities, to our families, in our schools? How can we become better listeners?
I think the best thing you can do is to try, and you can't do this completely, but to try to go into every encounter, every exchange with no preconceived notions about what answers you're going to get or what answers you even want, so that it's as wide open as possible, and so that people will tell you what it is they really think. If you can go in and really have no preconceived notions about what the answer is going to be, you come out with much better information and a much better idea about how to make the next step.
I know as a conductor, and probably as teaching conducting as well, you have to, you have like a technical goal of trying to get the best music and the best conductors, and you have to balance that with like leading a group of people and having a really relationship with those people. I know one thing that we struggle with a lot is trying to balance that relationship and with the goals that we have and the outcomes. So how do you balance and go about keeping that balance?
If you can have you have to first of all, you need to be open to yourself about who you actually are. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? All of that makes it much easier to do these things. I'll again use the conducting analogy, that conductors are either very gifted in rhythm or very gifted in line, that is, making longer lines out of music. And what I tell my conducting students is, if you're gifted in line, focus entirely on rhythm. If you're gifted in rhythm, focus on line. Because a lot of time people they have this thing that they're good at, and they wind up polishing that apple all the time, instead of figuring out what is a weakness that I can actually work on to fix. Yes, I have this thing that I'm good at, and I can pull that out anytime. But in terms of working on myself and making progress, what's the thing that I need to work on that's sort of the opposite of what I'm good at? And find ways of working at that while you still use your strong suit, whatever it is, to propel you forward. I mean, if you're always working on whatever you think your weakness is, you're going to get better and better at everything.